Welcome to everyone. Today in Pyramid Valley International is a great day because we are going to meet two great spiritual scientists in Pyramid Valley International. And Pyramid Valley International connects many spiritual science programs like Global Congress of Spiritual Sciences. So till now, 12 GFSS it has happened here, and in one of the events, a great spiritual scientist from USA, Mr. Andrew Cohen, has attended, and he was one of the speakers in the program. So there, Mr. Andrew Cohen has met our Brahmarshi Patriji, who is a PSSM founder. So there, the first meet has happened. These two great spiritual scientists in Pyramid Valley International during the GFSS event, and this will be one more great meet of these two great spiritual scientists today, and it's a very great honor and opportunity for a whole PSSM, and especially today, Mr. Andrew Cohen, sir, would like to interact with a great master and PSSM founder, Brahmarshi Patriji, and I will be having a great
chat.
Great chat, you can say, and it's a great opportunity for me to introduce this great spiritual scientist.
Informal chat.
Informal chat. Because always Patri sir makes us so informal so that we'll be more open up. And this is a regular style of Patri sir, and this style and this whole interview will be happening now. And welcome sir, and welcome Andrew sir to Pyramid Valley International, and also for this great informal chat.
Thank you.
Yes sir.
Yes, Swamiji.
I have a question for you, Swamiji.
Already?
Yes.
Shoot.
So I said to you a few minutes ago, when we decided to have this dialogue, I said to you, shall we discuss consciousness? You replied, Andrew G., I don't know anything about consciousness. I'm a common sense man. So what I want to ask you is this. Vedanta tells us that consciousness is fundamental, consciousness is primary, consciousness is timeless, consciousness is formless, consciousness is beginningless and endless and eternal, and it is the foundation of reality. Vedanta tells us that the realization of consciousness, the conscious recognition and awakening to consciousness and its infinite nature is the source of Brahma Vidya, from spiritual liberation and enlightenment.
Yes.
So, being a common sense man, what's the common sense relationship to the discovery of consciousness?
It appeals to my common sense. See, all the spirituality, all the experience of spiritual masters like yourself, like Ramana Maharshi, like Buddha, like Mahavir, like Jesus, they appeal to me. They appeal to my common sense. These are all great masters who have dedicated themselves to the search for truth. I have not done like them. I am a reporter. I consider myself a reporter. See, what does a reporter do, journalist do? Something is happening somewhere, he will report it. I am a spiritual journalist. So I report. I take from the spiritual masters and report what they have done to the common masses.
With all respect, sir, this is not true.
It is true, Swamiji.
No, with all respect.
Why you want to fight with me?
Because you are a practitioner. You're not merely a reporter. You're not telling what other people are doing.
Yes, I'm also a practitioner.
No, but you went to see what these other masters were doing, and now you're doing it yourself in a very big way. So you're not merely a humble reporter. You're a generator of awakened beings, awakened soul, awakened minds. So this is not merely the job of a reporter.
A reporter who has accepted all the reports of the experience of masters.
Yeah, you are actively a generator, an atomic generator of consciousness, of spiritual awakening, of love, devotion, and of spiritual activity.
I tell people, hey, Andrew Cohen has got a great experience. Hey, Ramana Maharshi had a great experience, and I am thrilled by the experiences. You also do meditation, you will also have those experiences. I report to you, Swamiji, to everybody.
That's true, but the radiance, the living radiance of the realizer attracts the seeker and inspires the seeker to do the sadhana. Without the radiance of the spiritual master, the seeker won't do the sadhana.
So now I can give you I'm not an ordinary journalist, I'm a very great journalist.
I believe that, but you're not merely a journalist.
I'm a great journalist, I'm not a mere journalist. I accept all the messages of all the great masters, totally. A Buddha's message, a Jesus' message, a Mahavir's message, a Zoroaster's message, a Jalaluddin Rumi's message, a Andrew Cohen message, it sinks in me. My heart reverberates.
But what I wanted to ask you is, being a common sense man, what is the common sense reaction to the discovery of eternity?
See, those people who lack common sense, they disagree with these people. They say, hey, something is visible, it's all blah blah, you can't see it, you can't prove it.
Correct.
So I don't like it.
They're materialists.
Okay, it can't be proved. The beauty of a girl, can you prove it? How can you prove it? With the measurements of the eyes and the cheeks, and how can you measure the beauty of a lady, young lady?
It's by the inner experience her beauty gives you.
So, beauty of a young lady or beauty of a baby, how can you measure it scientifically, prove it? No, it cannot be. How can you measure the beauty of the sunrise and sunset? Similarly,
these things we understand through our subjective internal experience.
same thing here. So I tell you, you can understand a Mahavir Buddha not scientifically,
Right.
subjectively. So you do meditation. So I teach meditation. Whatever I learned from you, I teach others, Swamiji. I learn from you and teach. I learn from Buddha, I teach others. I have read Buddha, I have read Mahavir, I have read Jesus. I learn from them. And I teach whatever you have learnt by yourself. I teach.
So generally, when a human being discovers consciousness, they discover everything is one process. And this discovery that everything is one changes a human being.
Totally changes.
Because
It has changed me. My journalist role has changed me. I am no more the same person that before I started studying all these things. I'm a different person. I am a different person now because of my study of all these masters like yourself.
Was there one moment of change, or was there small changes over
Everything
time?
is gradual always.
Huh?
Everything is a gradual change. But a huge change came when I read Lobsang Rampa's You Forever.
Huh?
That was in the 1979.
What happened?
What happened? There he was describing astral travel, silver cord, astral worlds, Akashi records in such a beautiful way. I said, hey, this is the truth. In 2 days, I read the whole book, You Forever, by Lobsang Rampa, greatest Tibetan master.
So I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes.
I've noticed that in some of your closest devotees, your closest disciples and students,
Nobody is a disciple of me. I disagree with you.
well, what looks like? Maybe.
What appears is always defective.
Okay. Your apparent devotees, the closest ones, many of them tell me that since they started meditating under your guidance, they gain access to a metaphysical loka, and in this loka they met spiritual beings that were transcendental beings. They weren't merely human, and these beings would speak to them and help them and guide them.
Yes.
Can you tell me what your understanding of this metaphysical domain is all about, and how this is related to your own awakening?
Whomsoever I taught meditation, yes, I am a teacher of meditation, apart from being a journalist.
Part-time job.
Part-time job. So, my part-time job fetched me very well.
Looks like.
Looks like.
Looks like.
Whomsoever I started teaching, they became masters. They became my colleagues in the spread of this great meditation revolution. They became my partners, my business partners, and shareholders in the company.
But what I'm interested in is this, you said when you read Lobsang Rampa, you heard about these metaphysical realms of reality, these other dimensions. And it seems that your non-disciples, your non-students, who are the most devoted, they've told me independently without my asking, that in their meditation they have access to this Brahma Loka, where
Of course so, of course
where they
so.
meet spiritual beings that help them and guide them and support them.
That
and
will
love
happen
them.
for everybody. If it happened to Lopsang Nampa, it will happen to every person.
But it seems to be, but what they're describing, in the way they describe it, seems to be connected with you and your transmission.
Yes, since I played a role in the whole thing, it is proper that they get connected to me in meditation too.
But do you know anything about these spiritual beings?
I don't know anything personally.
So this is not part of your experience, it's part of their experience.
It's part of their experience. I learn from their experience that I am a part of their experience. And
So-
I believe in them.
No, I know they do. Because what I wanted to ask you is because I imagine the Buddha would say, and I imagine someone like Ramana Maharshi would say, that anything that you can see, any object that appears, any being that appears separate from consciousness itself, is an apparition, is an illusion, is ultimately
Nothing is an illusion. Sorry.
Nothing is an illusion.
Nothing is an illusion.
Everything is real?
Everything is real.
What does this mean?
It means matter is real, consciousness is real. That is my reading. You see, Adi Shankaracharya said, Jagan Midhya Brahma Satyam. Whatever you see is illusion, that consciousness, Brahma Satyam. It is the classical Adi Shankaracharya view. Jagan Midhya Brahma Satyam, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. This consciousness is only Brahma.
Which means it's like the screen on which the movie appears.
Yes, so then the materialists say opposite. Jagat Satyam, Brahma Midhya.
Correct.
Jivo Jagadaiva Naparaha. That is the Charvaka philosophy, materialist philosophy. Whatever you see, that's the only thing. There is nothing like consciousness.
Correct.
So, Jagat Satyam, Brahma Midhya. Midhya means illusion. Satyam means truth.
Yeah.
This world is truth. That Brahma, whatever you are talking, stupid fellow, that's all, nothing is there.
Right.
So this is the materialistic view, Charvaka view.
Yeah.
Then Buddha came.
Yeah.
He gave a third interpretation. He said, Jagat Shunyam, Brahma Shunyam. There is no consciousness and there is no object, there is no subject.
There's emptiness.
There is only emptiness. Jagat Shunyam,
Yeah.
Brahma Shunyam.
Yeah.
Jivo Shunyaiva Naparaha. This consciousness, this witness is also an emptiness.
I understand that, sir. So that's why, in relationship to that definition of ultimate reality.
I am coming, Swamiji.
Okay.
So there are four viewpoints. First viewpoint is Jagat Satyam Brahma Midhya. That is a materialist view. Adi Shankaracharya, Jagat Midhya Brahma Satyam. And Buddha's view, both are idiots. both are emptiness. There is nothing but emptiness everywhere.
Correct.
But I say
Yeah.
the fourth one.
Yeah.
Jagat Satyam, Brahma Satyam, Jivo Dvayam api Naparaha. This consciousness is both object and as well as subject. The object is true. That's why you are taking a birth. If this was not true, you wouldn't take a birth.
So in Buddhism, they say there's two truths: relative truth and absolute truth. Is that what you're pointing to?
Only one truth, that this is truth, consciousness is truth.
But they say.
I don't agree with Buddhists.
But they say that.
So they are against.
No, but they say that in absolute reality, there's only one. In absolute reality, there's only one. There's no you, there's no me, there's no here, there's no there, there's no up, there's no down, there's no east, there's no west. There's only one. In relative reality, we see the many, the relative appearances of the one. But in absolute reality,
That's what I'm
there's only
saying.
the
The
one.
relative reality is as important, as truthful as the absolute reality. Both are realities.
You don't think absolute reality is a little more important?
Nothing. Arey Baba, if it is more important, why would the relative reality come into existence at all?
Because I think God was curious what it would be like to. I always believed, my belief, I can't prove it, that God was curious what would it be like to take form. What would it be like to take form?
And he is very, very thrilled with the form.
He's what?
He is very thrilled with the form, his creation.
I agree with that, but that him taking form, I believe, is what this universe is.
So it is a very valid reality. The relative reality is a very valid reality.
No, it's valid. I agree with you. It's valid, but it's valid and it's real, as you say. I agree, it's real, but there's a difference between being relatively real and absolutely real. Because
Both are realities.
Yeah, they are. But
So I will say, Jagat Satyam, Brahma Satyam. Both are truth.
No. When you say relative reality and absolute reality, admits they're both real, but it says that the highest reality, absolute reality, is a deeper understanding of truth, that there's only one.
See,
or none.
You will be able to better live in the relative reality when you understand that universal reality
Correct,
also.
correct, absolutely. It changes everything.
Understand?
Changes everything.
So you will be able to enjoy your relative reality.
Because we know it's only relative.
I like my ice cream. I like my cricket.
But yes, but the difference is we could say an enlightened person knows that relative reality is only relatively real, and that's why he or she is able to be here without fear. Whereas an unenlightened person doesn't know that relative reality is only relatively real. They believe it's absolutely real, so therefore they live in
For
fear.
me, the so-called your relative reality and absolute reality are both equal and equal importance, equal greatness, equal significance.
But relative reality can't give us moksha.
When you don't know the absolute reality,
Correct.
then it gives you dukkha.
That's my
but
point.
when you know your absolute reality, this
That's
gives
my
you
point.
more. This gives added importance.
I agree completely with that. It means that all is God.
All is God. The body is God. The liver is God. The heart is God.
Yes.
So now begin to respect this heart, these lungs.
Exactly.
I respect sex.
Huh?
Huh?
Yes.
Sex is very good.
Sure.
I respect ice cream.
Yes.
Ice cream is too good.
Everybody loves ice cream.
So,
The best of relative reality is ice cream and sex.
see, in this lifetime, I am not given to meditation at all. I am not like Brahmarshi. No, to sit in meditation. No. I want to be in the so-called relative reality, which is for me absolute reality.
It's the expression of absolute reality, no?
Yes, it's a great, wonderful expression of absolute reality.
Right. And when we awaken to absolute reality, we want to make relative reality as beautiful as we can, no?
Yes, that is
Inspired.
that is the job of an enlightened master.
Exactly.
And he will do his job.
Yes, he has no choice.
There is no choice. It is a responsibility to develop this relative, so-called relative. It's not, for me, this is absolute reality, Swamiji.
In the end, everything is absolute reality. No?
So then,
But knowing it and not knowing it is a big difference.
it makes a difference. See, when there is a car, when you don't know how to drive, it doesn't make any sense for you. But when there is a car, when you know how to drive, it makes all the sense for you.
Correct. So I have found that all enlightened masters have a vision when they awaken to absolute reality, when they see the purity and the perfection and the glory and the wonder of absolute reality. They want to help the world to become an expression of that absolute reality.
That is for certain.
It's a vision of utopia, the land of Shambhala.
That's what we have created here in Pyramid Valley.
Exactly.
It's a piece of Shambhala here in Bangalore city.
Exactly. Because once we've seen that truth, there's nothing else to do, no?
You can't but create Shambhalas everywhere.
That becomes the unique aspiration of the enlightened individual, no?
Yes, Swamiji.
So then would you say with that realization one becomes a bodhisattva, that realization when the world no longer attracts us, the world is no
When you
longer...
become enlightened, when you see the beauty of so-called relative reality and also the fundamental truth of absolute reality, you are called Arihant. You become enlightened. That is the Buddhist term.
Yes.
You become enlightened. Means there is no more sadness in you.
Yes.
There is no more confusion in you.
Yes.
There is no more doubt in you.
That's right.
You become Arihant. Once you become an Arihant, then...
An Arhant, yes. Arhant, now I understand.
Arihant.
Arhant, yeah.
Okay, Arhat. He becomes Arhat.
Arhat, yes.
And he becomes Arihant. Okay.
Yes.
Then he becomes a Bodhisattva.
So would you say that the Arhat becomes a bodhisattva when the world loses all attraction?
No. World is always has attraction. Sorry.
No, worldly attraction.
No. I'll tell you who is the Bodhisattva. When Arihant, as Arihant, he will never open his mouth. He will keep his secret to himself.
Mm-hmm.
But Bodhisattva opens his mouth.
Must.
He opens his mouth.
He has
It's
to.
not a must, it's a choice. So when people come to him and he opens his mouth, as how he has become an arihant, he is called a bodhisattva. He will not go out and teach, but those people who come to him, he will teach.
Huh.
He is bodhisattva. But when you go out and teach, you are a Buddha.
Ah.
These are the three technical words: arihant, bodhisattva, and Buddha. When you have become enlightened yourself,
Yes.
you are arihant.
Yes.
People will not know even because you want to open your mouth.
Correct.
Because you don't want to open your mouth.
Yes.
But after a few more incarnations, you would like to open your mouth. After a number of incarnations as arihant, you will come back as bodhisattva.
Yes.
Buddha, before his birth as Buddha, he was a number of times bodhisattva.
Yes.
And first time he was arihant. So when you open your mouth to whomsoever who comes to him, he is a bodhisattva. But when you go from village to teach this, you are a Buddha.
Do you remember do you have any recall of your past lives?
I don't have any recall of my past lives. But others have recalled me as something that incarnation. So I believe in them. And I know something is rings me also. Yes, it might be correct, must be correct. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Because I believe that it takes many lifetimes to be able to hold the realization. To have the realization is not difficult, but to hold it, not to lose it, requires a readiness and
Of course,
a maturity. And this takes many lifetimes.
Many lifetimes of preparation and
Yes,
experience. That
yes.
goes without saying.
Yes.
You are right. Gandhi, to hold that kind of truth, he must have taken many births to hold that kind of truth. Mother Teresa, to hold that kind of truth, she must have taken many earlier.
Yeah.
Small seva. Then finally she came as a explosion of seva, service.
Explosion of seva, that's true. That's beautiful.
So it takes many incarnations. Bahunam janmanam ante gnanavan mam prapadyate, from Bhagavad Gita. It takes many lifetimes. Bahunam janmanam ante. Then you become a gnani, an enlightened person. Doesn't take one lifetime, no way.
I used to believe it could be done in one lifetime, now I know it can't.
See, there is no hurry for enlightenment. So we have to take many lifetimes to have all the experience, to all the nooks and corners.
Yes, indeed.
Understand?
Yes.
To know all the dark places.
Yes, indeed.
So in every lifetime you will see some dark place. Okay, no, this is light space. Okay, you go
Yes.
there. So it takes many lifetimes for you to acquire small enlightenments, and finally you will become an arihant. After that you will become a bodhisattva. After that you will become a Buddha.
So once a bodhisattva becomes a Buddha, is that Buddhahood for only one lifetime or for many lifetimes?
It could be many lifetimes also.
Acha.
Okay. It could be one lifetime, it could be, the choice is always there. Choice is always there. And a person can say, okay, one lifetime is enough for me, I am going to Satyaloka to be a co-creator in the whole creation.
From Satyaloka.
Satyaloka. Others can say, okay, I want to go again and teach.
I imagine that coming back to earth and teaching would be more of a challenge than co-creating in Satyaloka.
It is individual thinking.
But in Satyaloka, my life must be very easy, no?
Nothing is easy, Baba. Every loka is a challenge.
Even in Satyaloka?
Everywhere it's a challenge.
Because in Satyaloka, there's no body to worry about, no?
But you have to take care of others.
True.
Like a mother takes care of her children, babies.
Yes.
How much trouble the mother has to take?
All trouble.
Now in Satyaloka you become a mother of the whole universe. All these people's headaches you have to bear.
Yeah. What about?
It is not an easy job, Baba.
And I think the most difficult thing for the Bodhisattva or the Buddha, whether on earth or in Satyaloka, is to capture the people's attention, because people aren't looking.
Work is there everywhere. Challenges are there everywhere.
Even this is new for me.
Yes,
That
of
in
course. So.
Satyaloka there's work to be done.
There is great. Don't go there, Satyaloka. You will be caught in the work.
No, I'm having enough trouble in earth loka.
There is no trouble in Satyaloka, but there is a lot of work is there.
Yeah, is that work a burden or
It is the work of love,
or joy? Okay.
work of joy. There is no trouble. There is no trouble. Sorry, Swamiji. Even here there is no trouble for an enlightened master. Socrates was given poison. Okay, take it. Like ice cream. If there were trouble, he wouldn't take it.
So do you feel that the that the consciousness of the Buddha of a Buddha is eternal, or does it realize extinction at some point?
The moment you become arihant, you have achieved all enlightenment.
But does the consciousness of the Buddha, the highest level?
No, arihant itself is the highest level.
Arhat's the highest level.
Yes, that's why you are called arihant.
Okay, so does the consciousness
Then becomes a teacher.
Understood. So, but does the consciousness of the Arhat, does it survive? Does it persist for many lifetimes?
It is eternal.
Oh, so the consciousness of the Arhat is eternal.
Yes.
So in eternal in form or beyond form?
Whether you are in form or out of form, it is eternal, Baba. It doesn't make any difference for you.
There's no difference between being in form and beyond form?
No way, no difference.
From the point of view of liberated consciousness, no difference. But
There is no difference.
there has to be a difference.
There is no difference. That is enlightenment, that is arihanthood. Whether you are in the body or out of body, arihant is the same. Body is like a cloth.
Yes.
Do you want me to remove my cloth?
As you
Nothing
wish.
happens to me. Whether I am clothed or unclothed, I am naked, I am the same.
When Ramana Maharshi was dying, his disciple said, "Master, please don't leave us." He said, "Where could I go?"
See,
Same point.
the disabled don't know anything.
The what? They said, "Please don't leave us." He said, "But where could I go?"
That's what I am saying.
Exactly.
The disabled don't know.
Exactly.
They have not become arihants.
No.
But all pyramid masters are great Buddhas, not only arihants.
So
they are
the-
bodhisattvas, they are Buddhas. They are going out and teaching.
Yeah, I see. But to see the question I'm asking you has to do with this. For me, it's an old idea. This is in my belief, old idea, that when we become an arhat or a Buddha or a bodhisattva, but whatever the highest level is, whatever, that there's no returning back to this world.
It's a choice, Swamiji. It's always choice is there.
But this is an old. But I understand that. But this is an old.
I know this is an
idea
old belief.
in Vedanta and in Buddhism. It's an old idea. In my,
Even Bhagavad Gita says, if you come to my level, there is no rebirth for you.
correct.
There is no forced rebirth for you.
But in my way of thinking, in my modern way of thinking, God or the Creator or Brahman is always becoming more of who and what he can be. He's also growing in and with his creation. He's also growing and becoming more of who and what he can be.
Yes.
So therefore, from that point of view, there's no end to what's possible.
There is no end.
Which would mean he would be eternally in the state of becoming. And so the old idea of never coming back doesn't mean it doesn't work.
It doesn't mean anything.
Good. I'm so glad you agree.
It doesn't mean anything. You keep coming back. You keep coming back to becoming.
For eternally.
It's a choice. See, it's a choice. I'm telling you.
Sure, but if someone had become a Buddha, there would be no choice.
Even in astral worlds, many people are not enlightened, but they don't want to come to a human birth, because they know it's all troublesome.
They know what?
Even in the astral worlds,
Yes, they don't want to take a birth.
there are not enlightenment.
Yes.
They are not members of Satyaloka. They are only members of Swargaloka
Yeah.
or Janaloka.
Yeah.
Many people don't want to come to the earth because they don't want to undertake the trouble. They want to work there only and gradually improve. That is their choice.
So what? So in one of those lokas, what would be the reason that an unenlightened person would choose to come back to earth?
Because they want to take a jump to Satyaloka
Acha. Okay.
in a faster pace.
Okay, makes sense.
They want to have double promotion. So they have to come here, prove themselves here, and then take a double promotion to Satyaloka.
Very
Otherwise, they'll gradual work, they'll go from Janaloka to Mahaloka to Tapaloka to Satyaloka. It will take lot of time.
And they wouldn't have courage.
They won't have?
Courage.
It's not a question of courage, it's a question of choice, Baba. Everybody is a courageous soul there. It's choice. Attitudes, aptitudes.
Doesn't it take courage to if you're a conscious being already?
See,
Wouldn't it take courage to take a human birth?
I don't call other people as weak souls. No.
No, I'm not.
Only you are courageous?
No, I never said that.
You said that.
No, I never said that. I'm saying it would take courage to consciously choose
I
to
don't
take a
agree
human
with that.
birth.
It's a
Why?
question of choice. See,
Because you said there's the slow train and the express train.
see, either
right?
I want to walk or I want to run. It's a choice. I want to run happily, I want to walk. Up to Delhi, New Delhi. I want to see everything.
But I imagine, but wouldn't you agree in what you're saying, the person who would be more inclined to run would have better chances to become a Buddha than a person who wanted to walk the whole
See, if he's
path.
running, he will not see all the important things that he is able to walk. He's in a hurry to run.
So, are you saying it's better to walk than to run?
I wouldn't say it's a choice, I said. I wouldn't say this is better than that.
But I believe there must be a
You
difference.
tell me, I will put a question. Which is the better birth? Woman birth or man birth?
Better from which perspective?
I don't know. I'm putting which is the better birth.
In India, it's better to be a man. Obviously. Right? Easier for men. Women have more trouble than men.
In the West?
Less so. It's the same problem, but a little bit less. There's a little bit more advancement in this.
Tell me about when you came first to Pyramid Valley.
Yes.
Then, since then you are here.
Yes.
Tell us your impression about our institution here.
My impression of your institution is that everybody that I see around you and related to you, connected to you, is kind and generous and selfless and spiritually inspired and very loving. This is my experience with everybody. There's no exception. And you are an example of effortless being. There's an easiness and a naturalness in your being. You're not trying. It looks like, I mean, I don't know you so well, but it looks like you're not trying to do anything. And this is not something that you're not trying to not try. You're just not trying. and the results between your relationship to life and your state, and the way your non-students are, seems very non-dual, very beautiful. So I have a very positive impression.
How is the pyramid? What do you say about the pyramid?
Of the pyramid, I was only in the pyramid during the conference, so I don't have enough experience. And then on one day I tried to go up. One day when I visited, but it was so hot I couldn't stay up there.
It's very hot out there.
So I don't have much direct experience of the pyramid.
Okay.
But I have experience of the people, and that's very convincing to me. So I think you, just to get back to what we were speaking about. So you're
Yes.
saying, if you're running, do you really mean to say that there's no difference between running and walking?
In running, you miss many things which you won't miss when you are walking. But when you are walking, your goal is a little farther than when you are running. So it's obvious which one you want to see. Slow and steady wins the race. We have got a statement also.
But I understand, but I've noticed that some people are very motivated, have extreme motivation, spiritual motivation. Some people, and they say this also in the Yoga Sutras, that some people have middle motivation, some people have very less.
See,
so the people with the greatest motivation make the greatest progress. That's my point.
when you see from a limited point of view, in one lifetime, some people seem to be lazy, some people seem to be dynamic. But the reversal also will be there in the past lifetimes. I'll give you a small example. In this lifetime, many people give me fruits to eat. But I don't eat fruits. I don't like.
Yeah.
Because I must have eaten enough fruits in my past lifetimes.
Yeah,
Just because I don't eat now, it doesn't mean that I am against it.
I understand.
Just means if I am not running now, I am going slow pace, it doesn't mean that I have not run earlier.
So are you saying in the end it's all the same?
In the end, everything is the same. Everybody has to become male and female. Everybody has to run and go slow.
So I ask you a question. So in the end, I agree with you. In the end, everything is the same. In the end, but in the meantime,
Differences are there,
correct.
which are insignificant. Insignificant.
They're insignificant?
They're not, for an enlightened person, they're significant, very
For what?
significant.
For what? For an enlightened person.
Yes, because he sees the whole broader picture always. The more enlightened you are, the more broader picture you see. The more broader picture you see, the more enlightened you are. There is no end for enlightenment. Although there is a fundamental enlightenment is there. It's very paradoxical.
It's all about paradox.
And then you can argue and argue and argue for and against all these paradoxes. What paradoxes are there?
A lot of Dharma speak is about these paradoxes.
Yes, yes. When you understand all the paradoxes, then you are enlightened, I must say.
Correct. Well, I think the paradoxes can only be understood with enlightenment,
Yes, yes.
which is the consciousness of non.
First you become enlightened, then you understand the paradoxes.
Yes,
When you understand the paradox, you are more enlightened.
correct.
I have understood all the paradoxes.
Because you can see that what appears to be a contradiction is not
Yes,
a
yes.
contradiction.
I have understood all the paradoxes.
Yeah.
That's why my uncommon common sense is there.
Ah.
When you understand a paradox, what comes out is common sense.
Uncommon common sense.
Uncommon common sense. Common sense is not a common sense. It's
Correct.
uncommon, very uncommon.
Looks like. If we look at the world, it seems to be true.
Yes, Swamiji. So I am a man of common sense, I can boldly say.
Yeah.
Because I have understood all the paradoxes. At various levels, paradoxes. Can you do good? How can you do good? You can't do any good. It's a paradox.
Hmm.
Is there death? No, there is no death. Is there no death? There is death. It's a paradox. Are you a god? Yes, you are a god. Can you be a god? I can't be a god. It's a paradox.
When I hear this, I always hear the relative absolute distinction in these.
Same thing. So,
paradoxes. Yes,
so which
exactly.
is better? It's a paradox. This is better than that. That is better than this. Both combined are better than both isolated.
True. True.
Swamiji, it's all paradoxical.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
And I have understood all the paradoxes. That's why everybody is happy with me. From this side and from that side also.
About 2 months ago, we were on the Zoom channel of Pyramid Valley, and I was speaking about being and becoming. I said they're both expressions of Brahman.
Of course, sir.
And then you listened and you said to me, yes, Andrew, it's a paradox. I said, yes.
Yes, yes.
But not everybody understands this.
How can anybody understand, Baba? Can you understand music? Classical music of M.S. Subbulakshmi? You can't understand. You can't understand German. How can you understand everything? That doesn't go against you. Whatever you understand, that goes for you. But whatever you don't understand, that doesn't go against you.
It can.
It doesn't go against you, sorry.
In life, sometimes if you don't understand things, you can take the wrong road.
No. When you think for one lifetime, it can go, but several lifetimes are there.
Acha. Well, in the long run, it's all going to work out.
Always in the long run. I play one chess game, I lose it, but immediately say, come on, one more chess game, then I will win.
So when you think about karma, do you think about human karma, planetary karma, cosmic karma on these levels?
I am not bothered about planetary karma, that is beyond my...
No, but for example, you're saying that in the short term, from a short-term perspective, certain things seem more important than others. But you're saying in the long run, everything will work out.
Yes, but in the short term, some things are more important than others.
Exactly. So, for example, now the big problem is the environment is a huge problem. The global warming. And do you feel this is going to work itself out?
I don't care.
Because you don't care, because why?
Because planetary karma is not in my hands. It is in the hands of all the multitude of human beings.
Yes.
But individual karma is in your own hand.
Sorry?
Individual karma is in your own hand.
Correct.
So I consider upon individual karma. Planetary karma, the planet will take care. I don't take care.
What about we?
What about we?
So don't you think we have, on my personal level, my karma is my own?
That's all.
But
you take care of that. You are a part of we.
But at a certain level, isn't there a certain level of reality of life where we begin to share, at a certain point we begin to share the burden of a larger dimension of karma?
As a member of the group, whatever happens to everybody, every other member of the group, it will happen to you also. If there is a big earthquake, you will also die. So what? So what?
Well,
anyway, you will die.
Well, the so what is, for example, Swamiji, I see on television now, they're showing the fires in Australia and in California.
Yes.
And then they showed a picture of a little bear surrounded by fire, like being terrified, and my heart was breaking. But this
You can't help your heart breaking because your heart is made of breakable material.
But for this was unbearably painful to see this poor animal trapped in the abuses of my species, no?
You can't help it.
Apparently we can, but we should and we could. Apparently we can, but we should and we could, no?
You can't change others' realities.
But, for example...
You can't dictate others' choices.
No, but sir, but you admire Mahatma Gandhi, and Mahatma Gandhi saw what was wrong in humanity, and he wanted to purify this. He wanted human beings to come together as one.
And somebody killed Mahatma Gandhi also.
Therefore
what?
No, I'm saying therefore Mahatma Gandhi wanted the Muslims and Hindus.
I don't want to be killed.
What?
I don't want to be a martyr. I want to live and help the whole world.
Yeah, and exactly, because you care.
I want to live and help the whole world.
Because you care.
By dying, I will not help the whole world.
Because you care.
I have to take one more birth.
Maybe more.
Maybe more. So I don't want to die. I don't want to be a martyr.
This is my feeling also. I agree completely. I'm not ready to go.
I want to live and help.
Yeah.
By living, I can help.
Exactly. Not by dying.
Not by dying.
That's why life is so precious, no?
Life is...
I have a question for you.
Yes.
I think I know your answer, but I have always thought that for a soul to evolve, the soul needs to be attached to a physical body. So I always thought that after the soul leaves the body between births, its spiritual state, its evolutionary condition is frozen until it gets a new body.
It is not frozen.
So do you believe a soul can evolve without a body?
That's what I'm saying. That's why many souls don't choose to come to the physical body. There is a gradual evolution everywhere.
But let's expand the question to say, because the soul usually has a subtle body, right?
Yes.
The soul has a subtle body.
Everywhere there are bodies out there.
No,
Physical body,
gross body, subtle
astral
body,
body,
causal body.
causal body,
Yeah, exactly.
supracausal body, cosmic body. Bodies are there. But the nature of the bodies are different.
But would you feel that the soul can continue to evolve without the attachment to the physical body?
Soul chooses for a rapid growth in certain choice cases to come to the physical body.
Because it's more demanding.
For various reasons.
Sorry?
Various reasons could be there.
But that's implied in what you said. That if they're in a hurry, they would choose to come to
Yes.
human birth because it would be more demanding.
But for every one person who chooses to come here, there are 100% who don't choose to come here. They are disgusted with the earth planet.
So are they the smart ones or the foolish ones?
I don't know. In the long run, nobody is a smart fellow, nobody is a foolish fellow.
Yeah, I understand.
I see the whole long run, Swamiji.
Excuse me?
I see always the long run.
Yeah,
I see the whole picture.
yeah. Well, those are the two perspectives. There's the absolute picture in which everything has already happened, everything's already accomplished. This is what you're saying in the big picture.
Yet everything remains to be accomplished. Paradox.
No, that in the relative context, everything remains to be accomplished. In the absolute context, everything's already accomplished. Those are
It's a paradox, a great paradox.
complete paradox.
I like the concept of paradoxes.
But the thing is, I think different realizers take a different position on both sides of that question. So, for example, Ramana would say, "I don't care. I'm free. I have no attachment. I have no desire." And you're saying, "I want to be here because I care." And they're both expressions of a realization, but they're the expression of a different position.
See,
in relationship
music
to
is
life.
there.
Huh?
So take the case of music.
Yeah.
There are hundreds and thousands of ragas, melodies, patterns. Each melody pattern has its own beauty.
Yes.
For example, Kalyani raga is there. It is not greater than Shankarabhara raga. But the structure is different. Similarly, enlightened people, the structure is different.
Yes.
Like a different melody pattern.
Yes, indeed.
Each melody pattern is significant. Each flower is significant. Each leaf is significant. Each fruit is significant. Which is better fruit, mango or guava?
Depends on the person.
Similarly, Ramana Maharshi is better or Buddha is better or Gandhi is better? Who is better? It's not like that.
Depends on your particular.
Everybody is good. Every fruit is good. Every flower is good. Every leaf is beautiful. Every baby is wonderful.
Is unique.
Every baby is wonderful. Not only unique, wonderful. Equally wonderful. Unique is different character. Wonderful is different character. Every baby is wonderful. Every baby. Have you ever seen an ugly baby? No.
No.
You can't see it. Have you ever seen an ugly animal?
No, well, maybe. But usually not, no.
No way. You can't see an ugly animal.
Usually not.
A caterpillar is a very beautiful creature.
A caterpillar?
Yes, very beautiful creature.
Yes.
Yes.
What I love about animals is their innocence.
Of course, sir.
Uncorrupted innocence.
In the presence of animals, we learn that
Exactly. We see our
to be
own,
equally uncorruptible.
we see our own lack of uncorruptibility.
Yes.
So a big part of the spiritual work is to realize and awaken to that innocence again, no?
Yes, unless you become a child, you cannot enter the kingdom of God, Jesus said.
Exactly.
And what is a child? A child is nothing but pure innocence.
Exactly. And trust. And trust.
Yes.
It's heartbreaking, no? So your faith in the Creator God, your faith in humanity is very inspiring.
Swamiji,
It's very inspiring. Very
I
inspiring.
am honored that a man like Andrew Cohen is speaking to me. It's an ordinary thing.
You're very kind.
Andrew Cohen is one of my role models.
Yeah, you're very
When
kind.
I read him,
You're very kind, Swamiji.
long time back.
You're very kind. But I think, especially at this time in history, this is a difficult time in human history, for human beings to have faith in each other is very important, it's very positive, it's very needed.
In any time of human history, it is needed, Baba.
But even more in the dark period.
No. In any period, it is equally important. You have to become like a child. And I am a child. I appreciate everybody. I am astonished at everybody's gracefulness.
You're what?
I am astonished at everybody's grace. Yes. Any yoga, any darkness or any light age, people like babies.
Especially when they come around spiritual masters, their consciousness changes and becomes less full of ego and more full of innocence.
Of course, so because they are like children. All right.
Exactly.
We all affect each other.
Excuse me?
We all affect each other.
We sure do, that's so true.
In spite of ourselves, we are affected by others.
It's so true.
Yes.
It's true.
That's bound to be there.
That's why we have to be very mindful of what we say and what we do.
We don't have to be mindful when you have become enlightened. Everything happens. You have to be very mindful before enlightenment.
Very true. That's even better. Even better. Because if we trust ourselves unconditionally and trust in consciousness with all of our heart, beautiful things come through us.
Yes. Automatically they come to us.
Yeah, they come.
So we
through.
don't have to be mindful.
Not because of us, but in spite of us.
In spite of ourselves, yes. Before enlightenment, you are the cause of your mindfulness. But
Yes.
after enlightenment, mindfulness is your character, your innocence.
This is so true. It's so true.
Yeah. What is your message to all the pyramid masters
My
who are
message,
listening to this?
realize how lucky and how fortunate you are. And keep doing the beautiful work you're doing.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chandu, for arranging this.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Great spiritual chat, and it started informally, and the whole the spiritual world, your spiritual chart has given a great message, starting from the chat of Satyaloka to the 8th level, to complete the journey, where has to be running and where has to be the walk, and starting from Buddhism and the greatness of Mahatma Gandhi, and more discussion about the Satya Loka. So it made us very clarity. And when we come here, when we come to the earth, we run, and when we are in astral worlds, we'll walk. But we will keep learning. So the learning is eternity and eternal. So it's a great message. It has been come out from your great spiritual masters. It is a great opportunity for me to be being with this great spiritual charter. And thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, and thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, all the masters.
Thank you.